fully realized, a weapon, a tool of destruction. B is breaking down his unique lineage. And in this video, we continue that story because his story is not done. No, it's just beginning. Because yes, his first massacre was done when he was a child, but he also massacred as he grew older. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about comic book stuff and stuff. And this is Brzrkr, issue 3. We continue our story with death. Like I've always said, a good story starts out with death. And there is a lot of death in this story. Because our boy B has only one purpose: to bring death and pain and suffering to everyone who hurts the people he cares about. And he was good at his work, extremely good at it. But like I said, the last time he felt happy was during his first massacre. Right now, this had become a job. And every time he finished, he always looked to his father and asked the same question. Did I do well, father? And his father always gave the same response. You did fantastic. The people of the town call you a newt, meaning tool, weapon. And without you, our people would have been destroyed. We would have been lost. You destroy, and yet you build. Not even bothered, he asked his father again, are we finally safe, father? Well, his father said no. Not yet, for our land is still coveted, so we have to protect it. Later that night, we see B in his home, worried by the fire. His mother asked him what was wrong, and he opened up to her. What am I? Am I just a dog of war? And she said, no, you are a gift. We pleaded to the gods, and you came to us, and you have protected us ever since. But he got frustrated and asked her again, Mother, did you pray to the gods for a son, or did you pray to the gods for a weapon? Before walking out of the room. Later that night, we see his mother waking up to a loud sound coming from the living room. She goes over and she sees her once timid husband, now a warrior general, mapping out his next attack. She was worried. What are you doing? We have enough. You need to take it easy on our son. But he just turned back and said, yes, this is the express purpose of our son, to keep us safe. And this is the only way to do it, by conquering every land that stands to oppose us. She explained that all this killing is starting to weigh on him. He is still a boy, but he didn't care. He is not just a boy, he is a tool. She looked at him and asked him one last time, please promise me this will end soon. And he said he promises to protect the family. Seasons went by and he did the Lord's work again, destroying the mountainers from the east, the river dwellers from the south, the plainsmen of the north, even down to the colder climates of the west. They went everywhere, even got to a point he had to ask his father, this place is far beyond the reaches of our village. They can't possibly be a threat. Why are we here? And his father looked at him and said, they are a threat because they are wealthy. They want for nothing, so that means they will eventually come for us because they see us as something they would want. And so he gave his son a simple instruction: no one leaves, and sent him off with a handful of men to infiltrate and destroy this nation from the inside. And he set off, starting with the head, because the king was enjoying his time. My guy was just drinking his alcohol and enjoying his life in his beautiful kingdom when he heard a boom. Someone was banging on his door. Boom. The guards couldn't stop it because it was B himself. The half-man, half-god had infiltrated this nation. The king called to his guards, but they were so far away. Next thing, he started pleading for mercy. Please, we have done nothing to you. I don't even know who you are. But all B could say was repeat what his father said. Father said, no one leaves. Ripping the leg off the king, he beat him to death with it, then focused on his guard, decimating all the forces. Pulling out all of his weapons, he headed straight for the door, where his men lay in wait. They wanted to leave. The king was dead. But B took his orders seriously. His father said no one leaves, and there was a town full of people, women and children. He said it again, eyes full of power and regret. No one lives, charging head on and decimating the people of this once proud nation, sitting on a mountain full of corpses. He waited for his father. His father saw him and was terrified for what he had done. He looked to his father and simply asked again, "Did I do good, father?" with pain and anger in his eyes. And his father said again, "You did good, my son." On the way back, his father tried to justify what had just happened, saying it was a good thing he did. The children would have been raised as warriors that would have come for their people. This was the only logical choice, but B didn't care. He was trying to remember, because he could remember every second of his life, even the day and the hour he was conceived, and he remembered his father not being there. So he turned to his father and said, "Who is my real father?" As they returned, everyone could tell this mission was a dark one. Even his mother could tell things were different. She said, "You have finally broken our son." And he responded, "I didn't break him. He loves this. I saw him during battle today, and he lives for this." But she could tell he was wrong, because as soon as she went out, he said, "He's done. I'm done killing. I'm done being a tool. I am done. I don't want this anymore." And as a mother, she could tell her son was hurting, but his father still didn't care. He was more paranoid than ever, because now he had all these lands to himself, and he still set out to conquer more. Then one day on their quest, they heard a rumbling. As they turned back, they saw red lightning, and his father could tell, oh no. He felt a presence he had only felt the day his son was conceived. A lot of people will go back and check what was that, but he didn't care. He still went forth and conquered another tribe. He was unstoppable with his son by his side. But his son wanted to know who his real father was. Now healing from their recent conquest, his father finally decided to answer his question, saying to him, "Your mother entered a cave and prayed to our gods, and they gave you to us. That doesn't mean you're not still my son, because you are. And I need you to know that no matter what, we both will still love you, no matter what." And this was the end of the origin story, because the doctor was reporting all of this to her boss. There was no doctor-patient confidentiality. And honestly, she was afraid, because she had been lying to this guy for so long. They have no updates. They have no more leads than they had the first day they met him. But her boss thought this was a success, because now they know 2 thunder strikes brought people into this world, people who were part gods. Now they knew there were tribes living around him that they could track. Now they knew he lived close to a mountain range, an ice range, a forest, and a lake. They were narrowing their search. Matter of fact, where is he right now? Her boss asked her, and she made it clear that he was on another mission. But this mission wasn't as successful as the first one, because yes, in this one, they suffered losses. But these losses were not caused by the enemy, no. They were caused by him. Everyone was looking at him in terror. He apologized. "They got too close to me when I was killing." Like, can you imagine saying that to people? All his handler could do was just whip out 2 extra pills for cooling down and said, "Bruh, you need to chill." That's the end of this video. Please like and subscribe and come back for more tomorrow.